Well, we're delighted to be joined now by French horn legend from Austria, Radovan Vlatkovic. Welcome.
Thank you.
We've been asking all of our people so far, all members of the jury so far, what your first thoughts are of how the competition is going.
Well, it's going splendidly. It's a happy day for the brass and the woodwinds here. It's a fantastic occasion for them to shine and to present the expressive possibilities of the instruments. We're delighted that for the first time the winds are taking part in this wonderful tradition and competition, which is one of surely the most important competitions in the world. So I would say everything's ideal, looking at the beauty of this hall and the acoustics of it here, all the fantastic things musically and historically that have happened in this city. So I think it's fantastic. It's a splendid opportunity, and I'm sure that the young musicians will do their best to present their instruments as good as possible.
Yeah.
Мы абсолютно счастливы представить нам нашего легендарного гостя Радована Владковича, австрийский музыкант, собственно, исполнитель на валторне, один из легендарных музыкантов во всем мире. И первый вопрос, который задала моя коллега Кэрол, в общем, стандартный вопрос относительно впечатлений и первых мыслей, которые появились у Радована в течение первых прослушиваний. Он сказал, что действительно это уникальный конкурс, собственно, один из самых главных конкурсов. И он безмерно счастлив, что теперь категория медные духовые инструменты тоже появилась на этом конкурсе. Особенное удовольствие, конечно, играть в этом прекрасном зале Академической капеллы Санкт-Петербурга.
So it's a great acoustic qualities. What do you think of it?
Fantastic. I happen to be working with a colleague from St. Petersburg. He's my pianist in the class at the Mozarteum, and he's told me, oh, this is a fantastic place. He had his very first recital here.
Oh, really?
So he said, you're going to enjoy it. I have been fortunate to visit St. Petersburg, even Leningrad, when it was called that, on previous occasions, so I'm aware of the grand musical tradition of the city, and I think it's fantastic. I remember with affection also Professor Vitaly Buyanovsky, whose works we have also heard as a part of the repertoire for the French horn here. So I have very nice memories, although the occasions when I was visiting here were rare and only few. But I hope there will be more in the future.
And so you personally knew Vitaly Buyanovsky?
Oh yes. I met him at horn events in the 1980s. I heard him play in Amsterdam at the Concertgebouw. And he was a charming, wise musician, a true gentleman, a grand seigneur, and a fantastic ambassador not only for the horn but for Russian musical tradition.
It's great. Только что вопрос был о, собственно, звуковых качествах этого прекрасного зала. И Радован Владкович сказал, что он абсолютно восхищен этим залом. Коллега из Академии Муз-ТВ тоже сказал ему, что это один из лучших залов по всей Европе, действительно, если можно так сказать. Также мы вспомнили Виталия Буяновского, произведение которого сегодня в течение наших трансляций и вчера и сегодня оно звучало. И, оказывается, мистер Владкович знал его лично. Это был действительно блестящий джентльмен, музыкант, композитор, в общем, действительно выдающийся человек. So,
great human being, yeah?
Absolutely. I also remember some of my visits. I've had the opportunity to play with the Philharmonic Orchestra here. We played the concerto by Krzysztof Penderecki, the great Polish composer, which he dedicated to me. So that was also a fantastic and exciting visit. Having grown up with listening to the recordings of Mravinsky with the Leningrad Philharmonic and so on. And later on, of course, having the privilege also go to the Mariinsky 3, the new place where I heard an opera concert performance. So it's so exciting, so much is going on, and I've had also the honor of working with Maestro Gergiev also in his earlier days of the career in 1980s in the orchestra where I played in Berlin, the Radio Symphony Orchestra. So many ties musically, and a place like St. Petersburg had always been truly international, whether you look at the fantastic architecture, the music tradition, the art, the museums here, it's splendid, and it's getting more beautiful every day.
Sorry for interrupting, but I have to translate.
Sure, sorry.
И мистер Владкович абсолютно восхищен Петербургом и его богатой музыкальной историей. Он, собственно, здесь играл вместе с оркестром сочинение концерта Кшиштофа Пендерецкого, который ему посвятил композитор. Также он выступал с маэстро Валерием Гергиевым еще на заре его карьеры вместе с Берлинским оркестром. В общем, многое связывает мистера Владковича с Санкт-Петербургом. И это, конечно, очень приятно для всех петербуржцев и для всех россиян.
So So, if it's possible, I'd like to ask a question about your input into the repertoire list. Could you please tell us a bit about it?
Yes. Well, when I was contacted about the competition, first of all, I'd like to say it's an honor to serve on this jury with my illustrious colleagues. They're all fantastic representatives of brass playing. We had only limited time to try and make the repertoire more interesting and more varied. So we had to make some quick choices. I tried to just make it more varied in the sense of adding maybe some contemporary pieces and trying to show that the horn is an instrument, in my case, which has a small but beautiful repertoire. And of course, we're trying to enrich the repertoire by commissioning new works. So I wanted definitely to have Russian music also, and I would have wished for even more Russian music. So I hope if there is a continuation to this wonderful tradition of including the brass and the woodwinds, that we include even more Russian music and perhaps even commission new works for the competition, because that will be wonderful, and it will also give the chance for the composers to shine here. So let's hope that that happens in the future. Yeah.
Exactly. And also the barcarola, which we're going to hear in the next section. Yeah. Tell us a bit about
a beautiful, beautiful arrangement of this famous piece for the piano, and I've only heard it here now in this context. So I hope that these earlier editions from the 50s and the 60s have become more famous. Maybe they can be re-edited and so on, so that it reaches a greater number of players, because it's beautiful music and beautifully arranged. And I even had to contact a friend of mine to have the Andante Cantabile, which is originally part of the string quartet by Tchaikovsky. I heard Misha Maisky, another member of the cello jury, play it in Hungary as an
Andante
encore.
Cantabile?
Yes, and I thought, oh, that should sound good on the horn. So a friend of mine, Maximiliano Santos, he made an arrangement which we will hear in the finals together with the Glier Concerto.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to that.
So, translation.
Вопрос, который я задал маэстро Владковичу, касался относительно репертуара, и перед жюри, в общем, была непростая задача, потому что репертуар для медных духовых инструментов, конечно, он, в общем-то, по сравнению со скрипичным, с фортепианом, он гораздо более ограниченный, и, в общем, перед жюри была непростая задача, чтобы обогатить этот репертуар, и, конечно, хотелось насытить его произведениями российских композиторов, в том числе, и также различными аранжировками, в частности, одно из них, о котором спросила Кэрол, это переложение баркаролы из цикла «Времена года» Петра Ильича Чайковского, которое здесь, в общем, будет, у нас есть возможность услышать и насладиться им, и также еще одно произведение Чайковского, «Анданте Кантабеле» из квартета Чайковского, который мы услышим в финальном раунде. Кстати, мистер Владкович впервые услышал в исполнении Миши Майского, виолончелиста, выдающегося легендарного и члена жюри виолончельного конкурса. Оно его просто потрясло, и вот это вот впечатление музыкальное сподвигло его на то, чтобы в финальный раунд это произведение добавить.
So a little bit more about the contestants. What kind of qualities do you think winners of competitions need?
Well, we're looking for a format of international soloists. I think they will have the opportunity to perform often and in many different places, and a prize at the Tchaikovsky competition usually launches the superstars of tomorrow. So we'll hope that this will be the case with the wind and brass players as well, and we want to find the qualities of a true artist, not only a good musician, a good instrumentalist. So we're looking for that dimension too, and here and there is hope, so we look forward to the other contestants in the first round, and then looking on for the more challenging second and third round. So I'm sure we'll be successful in finding the right candidates and giving them the opportunity.
And without trying to dig, but do you think we've heard the winner already, or do you think we still might have the winner?
Oh, that's too early
ahead?
to say. That's too early to say. We have heard some brilliant brass players already, so we're looking forward to hearing the rest, and then we'll know more by the end of tomorrow.
И вопрос, который задала Кэрол, касался качеств, необходимых победителю этого конкурса. И мистер Владкович сказал, что победитель должен быть не только отличным музыкантом, но еще и блестящим артистом, потому что такое звание, как победитель конкурса Чайковского, оно, конечно, ко многому обязывает, и оно дает невероятные возможности. И затем Кэрол так очень остро поинтересовалась, а может быть, мы уже слышали победителя этого конкурса, может быть, уже прошло его, собственно, выступление, на что мистер Владкович довольно дипломатично сказал, что пока еще рано, об этом рассуждать, но действительно было уже несколько по-настоящему выдающихся исполнений.
If I'm just allowed to add, I looked the other day at the list of the prize winners of the past competitions, and I've had the pleasure of playing either with them as conductors, like Vladimir Ashkenazy, also as chamber music partners with Oleg Kagan, Oleg Hrisa, Gidon Kremer, so many of the Misha Maisky also. So it's been fantastic to sort of be in touch with the Russian musical tradition, and I feel that this is continuing in the best possible way.
И, конечно, мистер Владкович совершенно восхищен возможностью быть в контакте с выдающимися музыкантами, в том числе Владимиром Ашкенази, Мишей Майским. И вот как раз и есть русские традиции, музыкальные традиции, которые продолжаются.
Boris Pergamenchikov, David Geringas, Natalia Shakhovskaya, some of the great cellists.
Выдающиеся музыканты. Наталья Шаховская, Давид Керингас и многие-многие другие, которые, в общем, удостоены были звания победителя конкурса Tchaikovsky.
And I'd like to ask you about contemporary pieces. So there are a lot of modern music here, and that includes effects of brass instrument, actually, multiphonic or some piece, some kind of mutes. Could you please tell a bit about it?
Yes, well, we don't have, I would say, avant-garde pieces which could go even further, but there are these extended techniques on the instrument, including using different kinds of mutes. We heard it on the trumpet and on the trombone. I wish that we would have even more pieces with even further text, but it's a work in progress. So the composers which are going to be doing that in the future will further explore the possibilities.
Вопрос относительно современных техник. Действительно, огромное количество современных произведений, которые включают и мультифоники, и имитированные звуки, в общем, тоже которыми должны обладать музыканты.
So thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you.
Thank you very
Спасибо большое. Thank you.
Спасибо большое.
Thank you
Спасибо
so much.
большое,
Thank
мастер
you.
Владкович.
Thank you.